Hello, I'm Jeff Larson, Water Operations Manager with Marshall Municipal Utilities. MMU complies with the Safe Drinking Water Act of the EPA, and part of the Safe Drinking Water Act is the lead and copper rule. There's been a recent revision to the lead and copper rule where all public water systems, of which MMU is one of, nationwide, need to do a lead service line inventory of their water system. The objective or the reason for doing this is we want to identify all the lead service lines in our system. We want to inform the customer of what their lead service line is made out of. Provide some resources if you do have a lead service line of reducing the lead level. But most of all, to accurately plan and budget for the replacement of these lead service lines. So to complete this task, we're going to be asking residents and occupants of buildings to try and self-identify their lead service line. A majority of the lead service lines in Marshall were installed before 1930. So to do that, to give some pointers, the water service line into a structure usually comes in the basement or the lowest level of the structure. It's usually on the street side or on a street side of the building because the water main typically is out in the road. So to locate that pipe coming into the building, we can usually try to go to the water meter. These are two examples of what all my water meters will look like in Marshall. Almost all of them will look like this. If you flip the lid, there is a digital readout on each of these. This is an older style. There are a few of these left in the system, but most of them will look like this, black and gray. And before the water meter, there is a valve installed to the pipe going outside. And the valves will look like they'll either have a handle like this or a round handle which turns like that. So we've got the meter, a valve, and then the pipe, which is going outside of the structure. It's usually going through the floor or the wall. In most homes, the service line usually comes in like a furnace room, a mechanical room. There's sometimes a slop sink, a water heater, your wash machine, the water softener. And for most of these, like I say, we're targeting homes 1930 or before. We're actually trying to get into all structures built 1940 and before to cover us there. And in most instances, copper is going to be what was used as a service line material. And this is an example of copper. I don't know if you can see it real well. It shows up in the photos better that we have sent out. But if you scratch with a screwdriver or another hard surface, it'll provide a shiny penny-like looking color to it. Here are 3 examples of lead lines. This is really what we're looking for. You can see that these have been scratched. It's a duller, it's a softer material, and it's kind of a silver color. You can also tell between when we line them up like this, usually in a basement, sometimes these will be dusty or you'll have to scratch them to kind of tell. They'll be coated, they probably all look black, a lot of them. And in this example, these are 3 examples of plastic lines. If the line has been replaced or a new construction, this is since 1980 and beyond or till present, most of the service lines are made out of plastic. So they're either blue or black. The lead lines have this gray look to them. Copper lines, copper color. And you can also tell with copper lines the diameter is usually a little bit smaller than the other two examples. All right, here's an example. We're down in a basement next to a washer and dryer. Against the wall here, if you can recognize the water meter, like we showed in the shop, there's a valve and then the pipe going through the floor. And in this situation, you can see that that's a copper line. So we're down in another basement, and here the plumbing's down on the floor. So once again, we've got our meter, we've got a valve, and then we've got the pipe going down, in this case, through the floor. And you can see that it's a larger diameter gray pipe, and this would be a lead line. Here, we can try scratching this. You can see how it shows a grayish silver. That's a lead line. Here's an example of one that's hidden behind a cabinet. A lot of times these are in cabinets or built, something's built around them and they're kind of hidden. So if your line's ever been replaced, whether it was lead or copper at one time or another material and was replaced, it would be plastic. And here you can see the blue pipe. Once again, the water meter, the valve, and then the pipe going through the floor. This is obvious, it's blue, so know what that is right away.